Okay, so we are all welcome once again to Lina'sTechNest in partnership with AgroHub. This particular program is called AWS Cloudstart Youth Edition 2025. And we started the first cohort last year, and then this is the second edition. So it's a yearly program, and every year we make sure we introduce cloud computing to Ghanaian youth. And that is because we realize that there are lots of opportunities in cloud computing that the youth can tap in. And also taking into consideration the fact that Ghana have problem with youth unemployment. And then also taking into consideration the fact that cloud computing gives you the opportunity and then the flexibility to work, life, and then balance, as you can work from home. And also, it also gives you the opportunity to think critically and also innovate. So this is a yearly program, and this year we are glad to have AgroHub with us as our partners, and because they bring in some level of experience that we are also interested in, and that is the agri-tech. So specifically, you are supposed to be trained with cloud computing, with tailored solution towards agri-tech. So at the end of this program, you should be able to have a project that solves a problem in the agri-tech agricultural field in Ghana or across Africa. So this is it. Today we are going to really talk a lot about it and also look at those who have problem with the account creation and all of that. And then I will take you through the process of this course because the first day we didn't have the opportunity to talk much about it and also elaborate for you to understand the full concept of everything that we are doing. So first, I would like to share my screen and take you to YouTube where our course materials are. I hope my screen is shared. So, yeah, so when you come here, we have the playlist. So on our playlist, we currently have this, which is for you. This was created specifically for you, and this is how it is. So this particular playlist, it is well detailed, well explained, and it's going to cover every aspect of AWS Cloud Solutions Architect, from the fundamentals to the deep insights. So you will have to start, everybody will have to start from day one. Where is day one? I think the pictures are covered, so I cannot. So everybody will have to start from the day one, which is here. Day one of becoming a solutions architect. You listen to it, you try to understand it, and then anything that you do not understand, you write it down and get it to me. I will explain everything to you. And then from there, you go to day two and then day three. While you get to the practicals, the hands-on, you do it exactly the way it is. This we are still uploading. And because we didn't want you to, whenever you go there, you will be bombarded with a lot of things, and maybe you might not follow the way you're supposed to go. We decided to pause the uploads and make sure that we meet you today, speak to you about how you're supposed to use it from start to finish. So we will give you, from tomorrow, we will give you a timetable on the deadline you are supposed to meet. Because this is supposed to be a 6-month course. And what I have realized is that recently, one thing I've realized is that most of us do study. When we say we want to study DevOps, we want to study cloud, we go, we study, and then we are asked about the questions, we are able to answer them, but we do not really know the practical aspect of it. So everybody finishes DevOps class or Cloud Solutions Architect class, and everybody wants to find a job. And when they find a job, what usually happens is that you are placed under someone who will guide you. We all went through this kind of process, but that is not how I want this to be. I want my class to be. And this is it. I am not an entrepreneur. I am a founder. Founders are not interested in making money. For instance, if I am an entrepreneur, I can easily start, you will see me doing marvelous or rigorous marketing, 500 cities register and blah, blah, blah. And everybody is registering, and I will just take them through, brush them through it, and we are gone. After all, you can launch an EC2 instance, 500 cities, and I'm gone. I get a lot of money in my pocket. That is entrepreneurship. But I am a founder. Founders do what? They create distortions in the markets. And that is exactly what I want to create. I want to create my own version in the market. So this is it. This week, the stakeholders we are going to meet. And what we are going to do is that we are going to guide you and then deploy you to the field. And specifically in the agri-tech field. So let's say agribusiness and then the farming aspect and those kind of stuff will be deployed there. And then we are going to guide you on how to approach let's say, companies, and how to pitch your ideas to them. So in that course, you will be able to find out problems that the agriculture sector is facing in Ghana. And then you will bring those problems to us. And then we will then guide you to build a solution towards that. Why am I saying this? Initially, when we, decided this partnership and all of that, we were going to continuously train you. And then we get to a point that you may have to go to the field and all of that. That was part of it. But recently, one of my projects that I have to send a developer to go to a bank we are doing in Ghana, a project for a bank, a small bank in Ghana, where they want an AI customer agent. Upon careful assessment of their infrastructure, what we realize is that they are hosting their infrastructure internally. So they have 3 branches. So let's say the 3 branches, everything, all their data or everything that they have is hosted internally. So because of that, other branches cannot have access to it. And this is where cloud computing comes in. Look at the number of students that boot camps have trained. Why is it that
these smaller banks and smaller companies are facing these issues and they cannot solve it. So when I talked to the woman and I said, okay, currently what we are doing for you, we are going to either host it 2 things, online or in the cloud. So we first have to host it online for you before we gradually migrate to the cloud for you. So other branches can have access to it. One thing that came, she said, Lina, that means I cannot pay. This is huge thing. I said, no, it's not a huge thing. So do you know? So the kind of naivety that comes with it in the system, there are petty problems that our SMEs are facing. And these are the problems that you guys can easily solve. What is moving companies' infrastructure to the cloud that you cannot do? You are now learning how to launch an EC2 instances. At the end of the day, you are learning how to install user data script on it. These are the things you're going to be doing. These are the things you're supposed to be doing for these small banks. So why will you finish and you cannot find a job to do? One shocking thing that the woman said was that I asked her that, so do you have an IT team, somebody who manages your IT sector for you? And surprisingly, she said they have one guy in the UK who, whenever they have problem, they will call him. And now the guy says he's going to school, and sometimes they can call and call and call. So you in Kumasi, what are you doing? You in Accra, what are you doing? So right now the issue is that after doing it for them, we have to manage it for them. Why should I sit here in Europe and be managing people's IT services for them in Ghana when you are there? So we want to bring everything down to everybody's level so that when we are talking about S3, you know exactly what you're going to do. For instance, you can easily go to a restaurant, talk to the manager. Look, nowadays we don't have to manually be entering customers' numbers on your books. That is tedious. Why can't I just make a simple QR code for you? And then a customer will just scan their numbers. It will come into your database and automatically you have their numbers. And whenever food is ready, or maybe for a long time you've not heard from that particular customer, because you know marketing plays a role in every business. So in the form of marketing, you can just send them a message. How are you doing? It's been a long time. We've not seen you. When are we seeing you? It reminds the fellow to always come there. So I can solve this particular problem for you. And believe you me, these are things you can easily do them with ease. Within some few days, you can do it for them. Again, their menu, you can make a QR code for them where they will be scanning. Just scan it and have everything on their phones and be selecting and all of that. And for instance, some restaurants, you know, they have other branches and all of that. You can decide then move forward, start from doing it, the QR code for them, and then decide, oh, I want to move all of this to the cloud for you. And then later on, so that other branches can have access to all this information to be on a centralized dashboard, and the accountant at the other branch can easily open it. These are the things we want to teach you. I don't want to teach you, and at the end of the day, we will be holding our laptops and be searching for jobs. I want to teach you, and you will go to the field yourself and look for jobs. And the jobs will look for you. Definitely, the jobs have to look for you, just like the jobs have been looking for us. So this is the current situation that we are in. So currently, these are the uploads, the videos that we've uploaded. I think it's up to 12, day 12. Yeah, it's up to day 12 here. So what we are going to have is that you're going to learn everything, the overview, everything about AWS, everything about cloud computing, everything about EC2, everything about S3, and that is not all. The subsequent ones we are going to be uploading, when we give you the timetable, just try and make sure that we go according to the timetable so that we can finish this in time. So when we give you the timetable, please just do well. If it's 1 hour a day, you can do this and we are gone. When you are not, you don't understand anything, I will be on standby 24/7 to help explain things to you. And then we also have videos, other videos on the 6 ways to launch your EC2 instances. And that has to do with automation, with Terraform, CloudFormation, CDK, Python, and all of that. It's all in the already recorded videos as well. We have auto scaling, we have the load balancing, and everything, which will be uploaded bit by bit for you to have. So it's very, very important that you have your notification on, you hit on the notification button so that whenever we upload, you know that we've uploaded. And we are going to be monitoring to know that you've reached this place or you are behind or something. This is what we're going to do. And then another thing that I want to draw your attention to is that, thank God that Lina'sTechNest, we are building our online campus. And it's likely that you might be the first to have a taste of the campus. It's going to be a campus that's going to mimic our traditional campuses. Yeah, except that you're not going to have a place to sleep. But if you want to sleep, you can come there, because you can come there and then decide to, we will have a lab, a tech lab there with lots of dashboards that you can come around and play anytime you want to play. That is when you are a member of Lina'sTechNest. Yeah, so you will be the first to be part of, because whenever we release an infrastructure into the system, we have to have testing, testers, right? People who are going to be testing it, and let's hope and pray like early 2026 is going to be live and colored. So this campus will have, just like I said, it will have a lab, a tech lab. Yeah, and we'll have lots of dashboards to work with. Artificial intelligence will be there, machine learning will be there, everything, DevOps will be there, cloud will be there, everything will be there. So when we come to the lab, you can sleep there. And then we will have a lunch area. A lunch area will be like social media, where you can chit chat with your friends. You can decide, oh, this week I talk about your music list and all those kind of things and all of that. And then we will also have a place for other students who would want to come and demonstrate their skills, like also making videos for other students to come and be watching and all of that. These are going to be part of it, of the online campus we are trying to put into place. So we are going to be the first students to test that environment. Yeah, so at this moment, I would want to know, is anyone here who have issues still with the account? Let me know. If you have, just raise up your hand and I will know. I will see you. If you still have issues with your account. Okay, I think everybody, thank God, everybody have the account up and running by now. So is there any question? Does somebody have a question here?
Just raise up your hand and unmute yourself. Okay, Joshua, you can ask me.
Good evening,
Yeah, good evening.
madam. So my question is not related to account creation.
Okay,
It's more on the I am user, like
okay.
creating the I am user. So I was going through the video and I was following what you had done, and I
Mhm,
created my I am user
mhm,
from the root user console. Then
mhm.
I signed into the I am user console, but I realized that there are some services that I don't have access to, like the interface. Some of the things have been locked. Like they were telling me that I don't have permission to use those services in the I am users interface. But then when I sign into my root user, I have access to those services. So I was wondering, like, maybe is there a step I missed? Because in your
Yeah,
video, you had access to like everything, even when you signed into your I am
yeah,
user.
yeah.
Yes, so
So
that's my
did you create it as an administrator? I am user as an administrator.
um okay, so I remember that I didn't give the I am user any permissions. Like I just created I when I signed in to my root user, then I
Mm,
went to the I am center, then created a user, and that was just it's like I just created a user, created a password. I didn't create any administrator or anything. Like that was just what I
okay.
did.
Okay, so what we will do is that you will have to go back to the IAM user. You will have to click on it and
Okay.
then search for where the access and everything is. So then
Okay.
you can be able to detect the kind of
Mhm.
authority that you give. You see, this is a very important concept in AWS, the IAM. What you did over there was that maybe there was a skip on something that you did, and AWS is case sensitive, and anything that you missed, you have yourself on it. So that is exactly what we did. But this is also very good for user experience. So it is giving you a clue on what you are going to be doing at the work field. So after going through it, you need to be able to detect what went wrong. What did you add as permission? Go to the permission button and search for what the permission you gave to yourself and what you didn't give. From there, you will then realize that, for instance, if you are to work in the cloud or companies, you work for a company in the cloud and as a cloud engineer or solutions architect, and you need to configure the IAM in such a way that you give access to maybe the finance sector, you give access to the accountants to have access to the finances, and then when you go to, let's say, what department? Okay, engineering department will also have their own. So engineering departments, you can never that's what they said, access denied. You can never have an opportunity to peep through whatever is going on in the accounting department. Let me say this. Let me use this as an example. When I was in Ghana and I was a teacher, I think when I completed high school at first, and I got this teaching job at a private school. I was friends with the accountant, and whenever school fees they are collecting the school fees, I would go and ask her, how much did you get today? And whenever she tells me the amount they got that day, I will then go and tell the other teachers, you see the amount they are getting over there, and this is how they are paying us. So imagine I don't have access to the accountant office. Will I be complaining about my payment? You see, so this is what happens in the console. And these are the things you're going to. I'm glad that you are ahead
and you are doing things on your own, because it's going to give you, when you break something, break it, go back and come back again. That is how you are going to get yourself used to these kind of things. In the console belongs to you. The only thing you don't have to do is don't be provisioning things that you're not supposed to be provisioning. Things that are very high when it comes to the costs and all of that. Don't go and be provisioning them. Or don't be leaving things there. When you provision an EC2 instance, make sure you terminate it after your hands on. And these are the, but the rest of it, do everything. When it breaks, it breaks. Nobody is going to beat you or something. So that is the problem you did. You didn't give yourself the administrator access. If you give yourself the administrator access, I think you'll be able to see everything in the console.
Okay. Another question. So under the permission side, how do you decide what permissions or privileges to like give an IAM user? For instance, you were talking about the bank that you create uh, permissions for the finance, or you create permissions for the engineer. I was going through like the AWS permission list, and there are like a lot. So I was like, okay, what do you decide? Like, how do you decide that, okay, this user should get this permission, this user should get that permission?
Okay, so what happens is that, let me even stop sharing. I wanted to go into the console to show you something. But what happens is that the permissions are a lot. So let's say you are working on the EC2 instance, and you want EC2 instance to be able to access your S3 bucket or your DynamoDB table. That is where you go there and search for that particular permission there in the search bar. You search for it and then give the EC2 instance that particular permission to use DynamoDB or S3, to have access to S3 or DynamoDB. That is how it is done. That is why we have a lot of permissions there. It is countless. And you yourself should also be creating it. To get to a time, you have to be creating some of them yourself, because some of them may not be there. And according to the projects that you are working on, you have to be creating some of them yourself. And whenever you create it, AWS automatically will add them to the existing permissions over there. And when you go to the search bar and search for it, you realize that it will appear, and then you add it to whatever you want. Apart from you giving, for instance, permissions to human to use the console, we give permission to services to have access to services as well in the console. That is how it is. It is two things. So you give permission. For instance, you want me to, let's say, you are doing something, you want to upload your files to S3, and then you are having issues with it and all of that. So you want me to come and solve it. You give me permission to S3 only, not the whole console, for me to use the S3, help you on those kind of files, and that is it. Again, services need to have access to certain services, just like I said, the EC2 instances. So these are two categories. So the EC2 instances should have access to use S3 buckets, and then, or maybe DynamoDB or Lambda. You have all those